Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to my preliminary patch 3.3 patch note overview and discussion. I am streaming this live over on Twitch, but I'm going to try to keep the format mostly similar to how we do it over here on YouTube since I'm uploading it to you guys as well. I am going to have a recording discussion about the patch notes as well afterwards, and by the way, strap into your seat because it's going to be a long video. So, patch 3.3 Revenge of the Horde, reminder, comes June 7th, that's Tuesday. The preliminary patch notes pretty much have everything that's important in the patch notes. The main thing that's not in the preliminary patch notes are the items, and usually recipes, I should say, more so. So they don't want to affect the market or anything like that. So anything that involves current in-market items or anything that might affect the current economy is usually missing from preliminary patch notes. Everything else is usually in there. So, we have the trailer here. We've already watched that God knows how many times. I love how it always just says playable content, battle systems, items, and system. And then you do the notes and it's like, we're going to be here a while. Alright, so noon main scenario quests. The start of these patch notes are all the same. Here's a few screenshots. Here's the number of quests. The man within, and then, what's it called? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I like, it's literally House 4 Top Knight, Alpha No, Amaric, Alpha No, Amaric. So, from what I understand, there's going to be a lot of cutscenes here. Like, you're gonna want to basically make some popcorn and watch a lot of these cutscenes, other than the Nidhogg fight. So on top of that, requirements for progressing through the following main scenario quests have been changed. Eggs over Queasy required level 6. Now it requires level 7 and a different thing. Okay. An Eft of Effort, surveying the damage. Okay, I guess it was super important to have those level 6 or 7 quests changed, but not the level 46 to 49 jump in Northern Thanalan. Now, we'll leave that as is. Following items have been added as a reward, so they added belts as a reward to passing the Blade quest. The Warring Triad, trial that we're going to have against regular Van Hydrus. It's a solo trial, it's not like an 8-man trial. Those, you'll just go to the Fate of Stars, you go to Mordona with Unikal High. You also have the Weeping City. Looks like she's going to hug Kochi to death. The Weeping City and Freedom for Our Skies is the next quest to unlock and complete the Weeping City. New side story quests have been added. The Paths We Walk. Is this the 5 quests that he mentioned before? Yeah, so these are side story quests. Now, these are supposed to be something that you experience after you complete the main scenario, and they're supposed to be kind of like a look back at Heavensward and at the Dragon Song War. So these are going to be some additional story quests. There's no fights or anything here, but this will just, if you're up for it or if you're interested in it, it will be, it's just a recap of the Heavensward main story. Hildebrand has only 2 quests. I hope they're longer than a minute each. I'm not the most confident. The Anima weapon quest, A Dream Fulfilled. Okay, that's where we'll get that. And then it explains how the Anima weapon works here. So, I mean, we've seen this screenshot a few times over at this point. So you need 2 items. You need 1 crystal sand and 1 umbrite. And that treats the sand and creates a treated crystal sand. With 1 treated crystal sand, you can increase your stats in any way that you want. So like I could put 120 into critical hit rate and 120 into accuracy if I wanted to. What's probably going to happen for me as a ninja, I'll probably do 120 crit rate, 115 determination, and like 5 skill speed. Because it looks like I'm going to have 5 left over if the growth is out of 240, which you can see in the top left corner right there. I like how they tried to make it all fancy. Oh, your resourcefulness, your attentiveness, your explosiveness, your steadfastness, and your swiftness. Or you could just say critical hit rate, skill speed, spell speed, whatever. This is a black mage weapon right here. So, because you can see, well, I'm assuming it's a black mage weapon, but most likely, yeah. Anyway, and then it just quickly explains any physical damage, strength, blah, 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 will automatically transfer over to your reconditioned weapon and be raised when it reaches its new item level. We kind of figured that already. Items necessary to enhance animal weapons can be reviewed in Ulan's note. So we're going to get an item that tells you what you can actually do to enhance, or the items necessary. I'm sorry. This is Ulan's note. This thing is Ulan's note. So whenever you use it, it shows you this screen. Okay. New side story quest, Storming the Hull. That's for Hullbreaker hard mode, expected. The location of items players must retrieve for certain quests has been adjusted. Sounds like they've relocated those friggin' baskets, is what it sounds like they did. Quest destinations displayed on the map for certain quests have been adjusted. Oh, you don't say. That's much better. That's much better. Yeah, they are trying to make us hate the Moogle quest less, pretty much. Moogle Beast Tribes have been added. This is a crafting. Disciples of Hand will be able to progress. So, if you want to level your Disciples of Hand, your crafters, then sounds like you'll be able to do it through Beast Tribe quests pretty much, since you'll have the Ixal for the early levels, and then you'll have the Moogles for post-level 50. Alright. It'll start at Bar Les at 15.7, 28.8. That's somewhere over to the west, over by the Aetheryte. Then we have their actual quest tricks of the trade, the Milk of Moogle Kindness. That sounds disgusting. Trying Times, a crystalline solution, not a prophecy, not a crystalline prophecy. Sorry, Final Fantasy XI players. The tools make the Moogle a monumental task, piecing together the past, the zenith of craftsmanship. So these will all be items, these will all be quests that you'll do as a crafter, so keep that in mind. Alright, so with that in mind, Beast Tribe Daily. To unlock Moogles, they must first complete the quest Tricks and Stones. Fantastic. Following items can now be purchased from the vendor. Oh, I can just purchase this? No. Didn't they say this was new crafted gear? I guess they didn't actually. They just said new gear, not new crafted gear. Alright, cool. I don't need to craft it. I'm down. I am perfectly down with that. Vanu head, Vanu. That makes it sound very odd. It's just, they're just calling it head, body, arms, waist, and legs. I mean, super self-explanatory, but also incredibly creepy. Same with the Nath, the head, the thorax, arms, abdomen, and legs. Oh man, that is creepy. Ixalis will also be able to get grade 4 crafting and gathering materia, it seems now, so their value just went way through the roof. Looks like you just get oak knots when you complete. You have a choice between oak knots and ventures, and then, well, no, you automatically get oak knots and ventures when you complete them, and then you have a choice of which grade 4 material you want from whatever the list has. So let's see here. A message prompt will now display for players who reach maximum reputation without having completed the Beast Tribe main quest. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Reputation for the Realm-Reborn Beast Tribes have been increased, including the Ixal. That's good to know. The duration of transparent effects during the following quests have been increased. It's not going to make me like those quests anymore, dude. An icon for quest unlocking new features or duties has been added. That's really good. That is like a quality of life change I never knew I wanted until I saw it in front of me. That's actually a really good idea on their part, because that stands out like a sore thumb. Destination markers that appear during quests have been adjusted to improve visibility. Alright. New airship routes from Ishgard to the Gold Saucer. Do people fly from Ishgard to any place else? Is that... really? Oh, airship routes will become accessible upon completing 3.3. Oh, okay. That's why. Okay, so it's a new thing in the first place. Okay, I got it. Treasure hunts. The Aquapolis has been added. Everyone's favorite name. Somebody told me there was an Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference somewhere in the Aquapolis right here. Here, players have a chance to explore a test of luck and skill. Players will be required to fight their way to the final chamber to reap rich rewards. Alright, players will switch jobs while they're inside, limited to Disciples of War Magic. Let's see. Dragonskin treasure maps. Upon opening these maps, they can encounter a... yeah, so this is... They mention this item right here. Master of Thieves map. So basically, if this portal causes your game to crash pretty much, or an error, then you'll be given an item that you may re-enter again, pretty much. Progressing through the Aquapolis. Treasure chest located. Traps, which will summon monsters. Yeah, this is nothing new. The vault key can be used to open one of two doors. Leaving the Aquapolis, wrong vault door is chosen, or everyone's dead. Rewards are three tiers of rewards. 1 to floors 1 through 3, 4 through 6, and then the final chamber. Each grant different tiers of rewards. You have this big old dude right here. That's just a dude. They said that he was like a boss type enemy within there. So you may run into him. He's probably not going to be that hard. He's a Cyclops. We've all fought Cyclops at this point. Acquisition rate that items can be obtained through each of the 8 maps has been adjusted. Enemies guarding the treasure yielded by Dragonskin maps will no longer drop items. Thank God, because I filled up my inventory way before I got any farther into that. The following addition and changes have been made to Grand Companies. Material tab has been added to the OIC. Oh, good. Thank goodness. Wait. Materials. By the way, this always annoys me. The material with R-I-E-L, and now there's going to be an R-I-A-L-S. That's just going to annoy the hell out of me. I'm sorry. Even if the players fulfill multiple supply and provisioning missions, will not play repeatedly in succession, thank the Lord. New items which can be purchased for Grand Company seals. You have lavender seeds and void rake seeds. I'm assuming that those are flowers across all of them. Gardening, here we go, can be purchased from resident caretakers. Morning glories, giggity. Outdoor furnishing, that's 2,000 credits, that's not so bad. Let's see something right here. Oops. So I'm saying that the music is a little too loud. New items that can be crafted for company projects have been added. Level 6 ethereal wheel stand. Level 3 wheel. Heat of battle 3. Yes. 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 Got it. A message prompt will now display when players execute invite to company subcommand. Housing. Okay, so if you're someone who has a house and you're worried about the auto demolition, in light of the recent earthquake in Kumamoto, Japan, the counter for estate auto demolition has been suspended until 3.35. So there's still another 5 weeks before auto demolition timers recommence. So keep that in mind. New furnishings have been added. That thing looks pretty nice. It's a nice little teddy bear right there. The flower pot, the indoor flower pots have been added. You can grow seeds indoors and then use those flowers. Either leave them as decoration or you can actually pick them and make head adornments out of them. Looks like there is a limit to the number of flower pots you can have. Only 2 in private chambers or small houses. Mediums are 3 and larges are 4. So keep that in mind. Different kinds of seeds. Ocean orange seeds. Different types of seeds will yield different types of crops. Yeah, it's pretty standard other than that. But the cultivation process is different because there's no like crossbreeding and things like that. Yep, pretty much. Harvest. Yep. Flower pot plants, which will yield materials for gear as well as flowers for their estate flower vase. So even after you grow them, you still need to pick them and put them in flower vases if you want to use them. So keep that in mind as well. You don't just leave them as a plant. You actually pick them and put them into a flower vase. A new furnishing, the flower vase, has been added. You don't say. Alright. New crops have been added. Crops exchanged for materials. Void Rake and Lavender. Okay, here's the thing for the 720 houses. I made a video about this a while ago. 720 new houses per server, 240 in each of the housing districts across 4 wards. So that's a lot. Wards, keep in mind wards 9 through 12. Each ward has 30 houses. Each ward comes with a subward though. So it's ward 9, subward 9, ward 10, subward 10. And that creates 30 houses per, but 60 houses per ward. So 60, 120, 180, 240 times each of the residential districts, which is 3. That's 720 houses. All right, and then these are the pricings. These are the are these the current price? Yeah, these are the current prices. These are what the prices are going to be when it actually goes up. So most of you have seen this at this point. First class plots 33.75, fifth class 3 million. Obviously for the largest goes all the way up to 50 million for a first class plot, but it adds up pretty quick. Minimum pricing. This will be what the prices will eventually reduce to if the houses aren't bought. And then we have pricing of land has not been purchased prior to 3.3 may be as adjusted. For land that has not reached its minimum price, the current price is lower than the new starting price. Yeah, this is just explaining that if it's none of the current, if there's any currently untaken houses, their prices won't go up. But if the new prices are lower than their current prices, then the prices will go down, pretty much. They're not going to take the lower prices and bring them up to the new prices if the new prices are higher in any situation. The orchestrion, the volume, directional quality, thank the Lord. An auditory range has been adjusted. New roles has been added. And then on top of that, they can stack in your inventory, thank God. And also we have seasonal orchestrions. Woohoo! The time required for chocobo coverings has been reduced to 30 minutes. Thank the Lord. What was it before? 6 hours? 8 hours? Holy moly. Thank the Lord. Alright, the following additions have been made to Triple Triad. Hey, look, we have a little wyvern. Wow, we have a lot of things going on. Why are they coming back? I guess that doesn't really matter. That's a pretty decent card. It's good for the plus rule. Actually, these are all pretty decent. Even the 2-star Lolurito card. New NPC opponents have been added. The following adjustments have been made to Lords of Verminion. No, Square Enix. No. The dominance type, yeah, that's kind of expected. Okay, that's all they did. Oh my god, still the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Still easily the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm just going to put that out there, okay? Slightly cuter, okay? Slightly cuter. Fenrir can now fly, we knew that. Gobwalker mount's going to have Alexander music. Sound effect when summoning and dismissing the Bennu mount has been changed. There's new hairstyles, including Le Pompadour. New emote. See, do the monkey with me. I'm telling you, man. It's Johnny Bravo. He's making an appearance in this patch. It's gonna be Johnny Bravo. That's the wink emote. Can I get a wink spam in the chat right now over on the Twitch stream? There's a little wink for you guys. Ethernet shards, airship landing will be added to the Ethernet list. Thank the Lord. It's not like I use it, but still. Location of ether currents has been adjusted. New objective is added to the challenge log. Aqua Gleam Hunter Force. That is the Aquapolis reference that I was waiting for. Open 5 treasure coffers in Aquapolis vaults. That's a weekly thing, so that'll be fun. Anyway, on that note, other new challenge logs. Oh, they're buffing. Oh, wow, that's a lot more gil. So basically, these challenge logs used to give 4,000 or 5,000 gil, and they were just for completing multiple challenge logs. They now give, like, that's a lot of gil. To get 55,000 gil a week just from doing the other challenges, which are also probably giving you anywhere from 1,000 to 4,000 gil, that's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. New structures have been added to Idleshire. We knew that was coming. Hey, job adjustments. So, Dark Knight. Got PvP changes. We expected that. Ninja also looks like they got a PvP change. So, Dark Side damage increase. So, they got a 5% damage increase on Dark Side. And Soul Survivor will now take an additional 10% of damage. That's really good. That's really, really good for Dark Knight. Basically, Soul Survivor just got turned into a... Not exactly like a full swing, but it's an iteration on full swing. That stacked with full swing is really, really strong. So that just I think that's the thing that pushes Dark Knight over the edge and makes it like a really strong PvP thing. Obviously, it's not a be all end all. They still lack hard CC like Paladin does, or they don't have enough of it, I should say. And then Warrior, of course, has Home Gang and their stun, and on top of the ridiculous amount of damage they deal. But that is crazy good. That is a crazy good buff for Dark Knight in PvP. And also, it seems like they heard my bitching because Shadowfang now has Dancing Edge's old effect in PvP. That's pretty funny. I think that's pretty friggin' funny that it now has the old Dancing Edge. Well, it's only 20%, but it still has basically a similar effect that the old Dancing Edge used to. So good on you, team. That's a decent thing. That's a decent thing to do. And let's see. So Death Blossom, 10 potency. Yeah. Woohoo. It's better than nothing. And its CP cost was reduced, which is a lot better, actually. 20 less potency per use is huge. Catan had its potency increased to 250. Doton had its potency increased from 30 to 40. Okay. So prior to this change, it took 6 ticks of Doton to be equal to 1 Catan. So if enemies weren't alive for at least 6 ticks inside a Doton, it was a DPS loss. And if it was 6, it was equal. And then Doton was only better on the 7th and 8th tick. With Catan being at 250 and Doton being at 40, it is now a DPS loss on the 6th tick. But it is still a DPS gain on the 7th. Because 6 ticks of new Doton is 240 potency, whereas Catan is 250. So you now need to get 7 ticks or it's a flat out loss. But if you get the 7th tick, it's a gain. So keep that in mind when you're doing your AoEs ninjas, please, and do not single target Doton. I will end you. You got it? Good. Alright. Holy shit, Bard. Is this even the same job anymore? Alright, so potency of Venomous Bite. Venomous Bite's dot up by 5 per tick. So that's what? That's 6 ticks. So extra 30 potency. Another extra 30 potency on Wind Bite as well. Why did they... Blunt Arrow just gets 50 potency? What? Why did that need to be a thing? Alright. Flaming Arrow, also same deal. Well, that one lasts 30 seconds though, so that's a much bigger potency buff. That's a total of 50 potency over the course of the 30 seconds. So that's pretty crazy. Mage's Ballad damage reduction on self has been changed for 15 to 10%. Cast time only 1.5 seconds? What? Dude, that's so friggin' awesome. It's finally not a full global cooldown worth. Which means that you can actually do a bloodletter proc after you sing a song if you're right. If you do it in the correct timing. Foes had its cast time reduced. Battle Voice went from a 5-minute cooldown to a 3-minute. You understand that's crazy, right? Because Raging Strikes is 180 seconds. Now Foes with Battle Voice lines up with every Raging Strikes. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm just saying. That's crazy. Alright. Imperial Arrow had its potency buff 230. In reality, that's a 30 potency buff because... Well, it's a 30 potency buff under Barrage. It's a 10 potency buff otherwise. But over the course of a whole fight, that is a lot. Sidewinder had its potency increased by 10. I don't think that was necessary, but if they want to do it, go right ahead. I can't wait to see all of this undone in the next patch, because bards are gonna be, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, Machinist is a much, it's considered the more difficult of the two to play, but I feel like there's so many skilled machinists out there that kind of go against that nature that it kind of doesn't seem that way. I clearly agree that it is the definitely the more complex of the two, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting seeing, because the thing is that Machinist is considered to have higher practical DPS inside of Savage, and on top of that, Hypercharge has more value. So a lot of this brings Bard kind of up to, even though their practical DPS is still was lower, they're basically trying to hit Bard's practical DPS. On a dummy, Bards should shit on Machinists with these changes. That being said, with the practical DPS increase, that matters more inside of actual applicable scenarios like Primals and Savage ratings, so that makes sense. And then on top of that, the reduction of casting time, understandable. I didn't expect them to do the damage reduction nerf, but it's always welcome, as no Bard is going to complain about that, right? And then foes, BV foes being available every 3 minutes. I want to see what the net gain. Someone on Reddit's going to end up calculating the net gain of that buff probably within a week or so, and then some people will probably test it within a couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to that information for the people who like to do the number crunching to come up and see exactly what it is. Also, Yoshi P plays Bard, so I mean, Yoshi P plays Black Mage, so clearly these were his ideas. Summoner, Windblade got a 10 potency buff, and Burning Strike got a 15 potency buff. So summoners, yay! Here you go. Your pet does more damage on their spammable attack, though. That is not a PvP change. Absolute. This is not a PvP. These are PvE changes right here. All this right here. This is all PvE changes right here. The only PvP changes are up here to Ninja and Dark Knight. These are the only ones that are PvP only. It's pretty crazy. These are all PvE changes, though. Ha ha ha. Oh, and Astro spread. Oh, thank the Lord they're making it only 30. You could spread a card every 30 seconds. I like it. I like it. Aspected Helios. Damage nullified by the magic barrier has been increased to 120%. Okay, that's good. That's strictly a buff to, like, the sucker version of it. And then Collective Unconscious can now be canceled by mechanics. That's a nerf! Doesn't matter. But Aspected Helios, I mean, that still doesn't cover the biggest issue, which is Aspected Helios is a 5 Yalm range reduction, and I don't think that's going to make people like playing Nocturnal Astro anymore outside of PvP. Sure, it's cool, but it's like, that is not why it doesn't get played. It doesn't get played because that fairy is ridiculously overpowered comparing a Scholar to an Astro. So, whatever. You know what I mean? Provoke has had its animation change. Wildfire had its animation change. You can turn off your own Gauss Barrel now. Following PvP actions have been adjusted. Etheric Burst is getting buffed across the board. You can now preset your PvP actions. Keep in mind that when you preset your PvP actions, it checks for cheats, apparently. So if you're cheating, it'll try to catch you. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see what happens. It's almost like gear sets for your PvP actions, which is a little annoying, but they mostly want to do it so they can check people for cheating between switching to it with this little switch PvP preset loading bar that you get right here. That's pretty much what it does. When selecting decline, players must press and hold the button to decline a res now. That's a little quality of life thing I never knew that I wanted, but I like it. I like it. We have the new dungeons, Sorkai and Hullbreaker Isle hard mode. I mean, average item level 200 to enter. Probably drop I2. I'm trying to think back to the trends for the old ones. I'm trying to remember if it was 10 item levels. Yeah, they usually drop item level that's 10 higher. So these should drop I2 10 stuff. That's not bad. If you consider it, you get enough 200 gear from Void Ark, you could just go straight to like the new dungeons, farm tomestones, and get 210 gear. That's not bad. Not a bad thing. I think the dungeons have been more spot on with their things. I mean, wait, what am I waiting for? The fucking it's probably in the patch notes. If it's not in these patch notes, it'll be in oh yeah, that's right, 15 higher. Is that right? Yeah, that is. You're right. It's 15 higher. It was 145. Yeah, all right. So 215, even better. So it's better than Void Ark now. You want to get gear to catch you up with the patch without buying crafted gear? There you go. Yeah, you're right, because it was I-145 for Never Reap and Fractal, and it gave 160, and then etc, etc, etc. Anyway, moving on. That's pretty cool. I-215 gear from dungeons. People will like that. Newer players coming back will like that. Storming the Hull, that's for that quest. The Final Steps of Faith, that's the trial against Nidhugger. That's part of the main story, this one. And then you have the Minstrel's Ballad, Nidhogg's Rage, that'll be I-220. Probably gives I-235 weapons, especially based on some of the more recent things. Nidhogg's Rage. So you have to do that. Wait a minute. So you have to do those side story quests to get the Nidhogg's Rage. Because they said that it was optional, and I guess the Extreme Nidhogg is optional, but like, you very clearly have to do those side story quests that I mentioned before, so not optional. As far as I'm concerned, not optional. Players will now queue for Sephiroth in the Duty Finder. You'll get Echo inside of Sephiroth, so Sephiroth now gives Echo. They changed the camera finally for Titan. Only took them 3 years, you know, no big deal. Players who already possess the Nightmare now can no longer roll Need or Greed. That also is a little bit late, but better late than never, I suppose. Weeping City of Mach. I-205 to enter, yeah, definitely gives I-230 stuff based on the previous item level differences. The Weeping City, we already figured that one out. Rewards are weekly again. On top of that, you'll also get your, what is the name of this reward? Players can also earn a separate reward. I guess the item's not listed here yet. It's probably at the bottom. But you get a weekly item that you can use to enhance your accessories or your armor with that you buy with Tomestones of Lore. So if you want to upgrade from 230 to 240, this will be one way to do it. I'm sure the Hunt will be the other way to do it. So we shall see. Following adjustments have been made to the Void Ark. The Echidna card will no longer appear in a treasure coffer, but can be obtained upon clearing. That card has seen more changes than I don't know. Just that card keeps seeing changes. I don't know what it is. Miyachi Matter will no longer be obtainable, but it can be obtained in the Weeping City. So does that mean that... Wait. So why would... So did you just remove my reason to do Void Ark other than upgrading my gear? They did, didn't they? I now don't... I have no reason to... Well, I personally have no reason to do Void Ark now, other than the minion, do I? I mean, they increased the drop rate of the friggin' minions, but I was perfectly okay with them leaving Machi Mat. Why do I keep calling it Miyachi? At this, you did this to me, because you called it that. Machi Matter. Maki Matter. I'm still saying it wrong. Maki Matter will no longer be obtainable in the Void Ark. I would have been perfectly okay with them leaving it in the Void Ark. I would have been perfectly okay with that. I didn't need them to carry it over to the Weeping City. Thanks, though. One less run per week, I suppose. Raid Finder has been added. We talked about this. I'm sure there's not going to be too many more details. Raid Finder is a cross-server duty finder strictly for the endgame raids currently available. So Savage difficulty raids are pretty much the exclusive thing that pops up in the Raid Finder. And it has a bunch of options and whatnot here too. Like if you've beaten it before, if you haven't beaten it, and then your purpose. Keep in mind matching requirements: duty complete, duty incomplete. Means that you've cleared it for the week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Duty completion option is only available if the weekly reward is unclaimed. That's how you can get the pages. So if you have gotten a page, is unclaimed. Yeah. Oh yeah, weekly reward. Yeah. Okay. So no, I'm still right about this. Okay. I'm just making sure because there's a lot of rules here going on here, and it's a little confusing. So you have the purpose, duty completion, and practice. So if you select duty completion, it forces a certain composition onto you. If you have practice, it only semi-forces a composition because with duty completion, you can't have repeat jobs. With practice mode, you can have repeat jobs. And then you have duty incomplete, duty complete, and then also what practice phase that you want to be on right now. And as it says here, practice phase selection does not entail the actual skipping of phases. All right. Yeah, and then it goes on to explain all the individuals. Players must have completed the selected raid at least once, and then this is if they've never beaten it at all. So, you know what you're looking for. If you queue into Duty Complete, everyone in that group will have at least beaten the raid once before. If you select Duty Incomplete, then everybody in there will have never beaten it before. There shouldn't be any sharded expectations when it comes to that. On top of that, practice versus duty completion, we just explained that, and then practice phase, again, does not entail the skipping of phases, just gives people an idea of how far along you are in the fight. We're only about halfway done with these patch notes, by the way, guys. Like I said, it's going to be a long video. If you want to queue into the Raid Finder, these are the minimum item levels you're going to need, 215, 220, and then 225 for 3. That's surprising that they did 225 for 3 and 4, but Yoshi P himself recommends melding Vitality Materia for 3 and 4, so best of luck to you, ladies and gentlemen. Limitation on so basically all the weekly gear limitations on Alexander Midas were removed, But the might and gear itself from A8 normal, that limitation has not been removed. On top of that, Gordius Savage had its echo increased. Not Midas Savage, Gordius Savage. And then, of course, we get to change the Duty Roulette Expert. And by Duty Roulette, I mean the Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo Roulette, as I like to call it. Or the Duty Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, because that's basically all it is when it comes to the Expert. And then you just had the old ones added to the level 60 Roulette. And Fields of Glory were added to the frontline one, of course. Final Steps of Faith in Duty Roulette Trials. That's the normal mode. I can't wait to roll that in my trial roulette every week. That's going to be fantastic. The following duties have been added to the Mentor Roulette. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's fun. That'll be great. Anyway, actually, it'll probably will be fine. I think they were making more changes to the Mentor Roulette, I think, in this patch, so we got to get to those eventually. Etherochemical Research Facility is now worth 150 esoterics. Okay. Interest has been maintained in Etherochemical Research Facility. They also buffed the esoterics, but reduced the lore from a few of these other dungeons. I'm cool with that because they got moved into level 60 Roulette. Void Arc, yeah, this still doesn't make up for the fact that the Maki Matter is not there anymore. The Gil reward for completing dungeons prior to 3.0 via the Duty Finder has been increased. Fantastic. That's actually interesting. Gil reward for completing dungeons introduced prior to 3.0. I guess we'll have to see how much it's been increased, but that increases the amount of gil that players receive while leveling if they're doing dungeons and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Following additions and changes have been made to the Duty Finder. Number of parties recruiting for duties displayed in the Duty Finder will now update automatically. Tooltip will display when join party, and then, the hell? Duties with more than one weekly reward will now indicate which rewards have been received. Okay, looking at you, Void Arc, but mostly looking at you, Weeping City. Oh, and by the way, little bit of a spoiler for the Weeping City of Mach. This is showing the Weeping City right here. Expect to encounter Voidsent, the same terrible things that grounded Rodlia and her crew, but on their path to retrieve a relic of incalculable power. So there you go. So we already know now that the Voidsent that were in the Void Arc actually grounded Radlia, which was the other group, and her crew when they went to get the Void Arc. So they're idiots, basically, is what we've figured out about the Weeping City of Mach so far. Alright, language. Duty Finder settings can now be found in the Duty Finder window. Okie dokie. Good, good, good. Accuracy and average wait times has been adjusted. Oh, you don't say. Icon while queuing for a duty has been changed. Additional information will be displayed in the Duty Ready confirmation window. Alright, that's pretty cool. Duty information. There we go. Right there. I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. Duties wherein players do not cast lots for items will no longer display loot rules. Okay, fair enough. Duty menu can be accessed inside instances. Oh, cool, finally. Undertaking a duty will now open the duty menu. Players can use this menu to confirm details of their current duty. Oh, okay, so vote, abandon, leave, settings, details. What's under settings? Oh, it's just, oh, so it's basically just so people can check the information. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. The new PvP mode has been added. Still Grand Company locked. I'm curious as to... They said they were considering getting away from that. Oh, okay. These are the level 50 quests. I got confused for a second. It's a level 60... It's a level 60 PvP mode, but you have to do those level 50 quests. Okay, there you go. They said they were potentially going to lean away from that. This may be the last time they try it. After that, I wonder if they'll lean away from Grand Company. But we'll see. I mean, they're kind of 50-50. If this doesn't do well with the Grand Company rankings, then they may change it. But we'll see. I'm still not the biggest fan because a lot of people won't queue just because of that. And it does reduce queue time significantly. So I would like to see it gone. I love seeing people be like, yeah, twin adders. Then you have the Maelstrom over there like, no, twin batters. I think that's cool. I think there's a nice little sense of pride there. But some players take it a little too far, and even on that note, I'd rather have quicker queue times than people holding their dicks, pretty much, while they do it. Alright, anyway, so participating in campaigns, this is all the same. Queue in the Duty Finder, 72 people. Everyone fights over objectives. Whoever gets all the points, whoever gets the maximum number of points first wins. You can occupy one of 3 points, or you can destroy these Icebound Tomliths, which it gives points to every team that hits it, but the team that does the most damage will get the most points from it. You know what I mean? Adrenaline Rush will still be available here, and then it'll still increase. Like, these are all rules that were present for the other frontline modes. Like, I really don't need to sit down and explain them again. I do like this, though. I think this is a much better way of determining which team is which. I believe this is new. So if you're red, it has the red outline. If you're adders, it has the green outline. If you're If you're Immortal Flames, it's got the blue. I like this. This is a good change. For the mini-map at the very least. Player icons, retaliation, mounts, rewards. Awesome. Like, I mean, this is all new. The results screen has been expanded for Seal Rock Seas to have more information. Adjustments have been made to the win, lose, ... That's for the feast and fold. Yeah, that's true. The message before was pretty bad. Let's see. The following changes and additions have been made to the diadem. Oh man, look, these sick diadem changes right here. When joining the duty, your selected language will be displayed in the log window. Beautiful diadem buffs. In all reality, that's not a surprise. In the recent Famitsu interview, they said that in 3.4, there's going to be a complete overhaul in the diadem, and they're also going to add a new exploratory zone. That may even get pushed back to 3.5 to have a more appropriate launch timing. But they said that until then, don't expect to see many diadem changes. This was stated in the Famitsu interview that I did a video on yesterday, so that's not actually a surprise. I'm just trolling a little bit. Stone Sky Sea, Nidhogg's Rage, which is the extreme Nidhogg, was added to it, so that's good. New items. Those are pretty cool. Those are pretty sweet looking items. I gotta admit that these items are pretty sweet. A lot of Void Arc gear here. Some other stuff here. That looks cool as hell. That's some. These pieces are cool as hell right here. Wow. I like it. And got some swag over there on the right hand side. Let's see. The requirement for unlocking material removal has been changed. They said they were going to do that, yeah. So you didn't need to actually do. You didn't actually need to be a crafter in order to do it. Following item names have been changed. Fair token 15. 15. Get it? Final Fantasy. No. Okay. It's high. Yeah, all of a sudden chat's like, it's high noon. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, moving on. The Maki Farthing has been changed. Recast for High Cordials has been reduced. I'm always down for that. Parameters for the following items have been adjusted. Oh man, they're buffing the Demon Brick earrings. Whoa. Hold on. Imbalanced. Oh man, that was absolutely necessary. Help text for the hyperconductive is right there. Help text has been adjusted for Alpine gear as well. Players can now stack ethereal wheels and primed ethereal wheels. Recompense. You can repurchase seasonal items. Nice. Following items can be exchanged at the Calamity Salvager. Oh, you can trade the old ones for different. Oh, you can trade them for different colors. Okay. Red you can trade for blue. Blue you can trade for green. Okay. I'm not going to go through all these. Basically, seasonal items can be traded in. It looks like. Oh, so this is. Oh, I'm sorry. This is basically so that if you change your character's gender with a Fantasia, you don't lose access to all your glamour gear. So you're able to interchangeably do that. It'd be nice if it was automatic, but it's not. So this is basically what you got right here. This is basically all gender changing stuff. And then we have Lucis items, which can be repurchased from the Calamity Salvager as long as you've completed the achievement and the quest quests that are mentioned here. Black Feathered Flat Hat. Following items can now be repurchased as well. These are again more like Little Ladies Day and yeah, okay, more seasonal stuff that can be bought from the thing. Following items can now be dyed. Hyperconductive stuff can be dyed now, huh? Interesting. I know a lot of people that are immediately going to do that. Also, some of the old replica stuff. Yeah, so pretty much all hyperconductive and so the 210 step, the 230 step, and then the old replica items can all be dyed now. So all the basically new Anima stuff, dyed Anima stuff can be done. Versions of Dreadworm gear can be crafted and dyed have been added. That's actually really cool. I kind of glanced over that, but that's actually pretty cool. And now you can get craftable and dyeable Dreadworm gear from items in the final coil of Bahamut. Then we have Anti-Tower and Lost City now drops these amazing items right here. So a lot of people are probably going to be a little confused by this. They're reducing the recast time on potions, on elixirs, on draughts, and on tiers. The main reason for this is actually because they want to encourage you to use this in Deep Dungeon, in Palace of the Dead. They are encouraging the use of medicines inside of Palace of the Dead on the earlier floors. So that is pretty much one big reason why, even though some of these have their HP totals reduced as well, they want to encourage it because you can go in with 4 DPS and no healer. But for that, you'll probably want to bring in some medicines as well. So that's the reason why that they're definitely doing this right here. Hyperconductive Anima weapon relics can now be done. No, this won't help people. This still won't make people use. I mean, look at this. Dusk and Draught restores 50% of HP, but it's only 1,000 max. Look, no. Restores up to 32% HP. This one just restores a lower maximum percentage, but still the overall same max, while these ones all had their maxes buffed. And then these all had their recast times reduced. All of them had recasts reduced. This was the max potion was the only one that had its percentage of your HP reduced, but it's still the same HP overall. Probably because 32% of your HP is really easy to reach 1920 max, so the 24% makes it a little bit closer. Alright, let's see. New items are available from Bertana, of course. Following items, by the way, these items from Bertana, these are probably Nidhogg items, like you bring her 10 tokens and you get a Nidhogg weapon. That's almost definitely what it is. Following items have now been are now available for purchase. You can buy clear prisms and glamour dispellers in Idleshire. Following items can now be bought from the Goblin Trader. Grade to dark matter. You can legit just buy dark matter from the Goblin Trader in Idleshire. I know a lot of people that are going to be very, very happy. Very happy. Number of Amber Encased Vialkin. Good, because this was so useless. Even with this change, those Amber Encased Vialkin are so useless. I'm just saying. It's useless. Other than the Orchestrion rolls, it's useless. Upon creating a character, players will now start with equipment. What? You just... Wait a minute. You just get neck, ears, wrist... Okay. Alright, level 1 characters. Here's a full set of gear. Pretty much in a nutshell. Here's a full set of gear, level 1 characters. Enjoy it. That's pretty crazy. I'm pretty surprised that they did that. I can't imagine that they do very much, but it's probably just like armor. It's probably just like 1 defense and 1 magic defense, but still, what the hell? That's just such a weird change to have to make. Or why they're making it, you know? I don't understand. And even if you've already created a character, you can just go to these NPCs to get those level 1 items. Oh well. I mean, good for them. Makes it easier for new players. No skin off my back. New items have been added for as rewards for exploratory voyages. Fantastic. Probably materia of some kind. Or materials, I should say. With an A, not an E. Oh, here's the partial search window, ladies and gentlemen. Search for... Oh, no, I'm sorry. This isn't the partial search. The partial search is coming up, though. Search for item by gathering method and search by crafting method. Now available for, like, mission allowances and House of Splendors and whatnot. Following recipes got added to quick synthesis. Awesome. Following items have their crafting requirements lowered from 850 to 810. That's the newer stuff. That's like camphor wood stuff and sewing threads and whatnot. So odd that they decided to make that change, but I'm okay with it. Special recipes section, Moogle quests. They added they added Moogle quests to the special ones. Okay, that's understandable. Cordials. They also renamed them, by the way, to Heavenswards 1 and 2. Cordial and Cordial HQ, alright, just can now be crafted. Oh, okay, alright. Cordials can be crafted now. Okay. They're not high cordials, but the cordials. Not like it matters, I can buy a bajillion of these things with Grand Company points, but I'm down. Just give me a stack of 99 so I don't have to go to my Grand Company ever. Oh. Yeah, I'll still buy them with Grand Company seals, whatever. Anyway, so moving on. Just not the HQ ones. That lowered cooldown, though. Holy moly. What is this? Amount of blue crafter... Okay, so these are just buffs to blue crafter scripts. When you hand in items for blue crafter scripts, you just get more of them. I'm not going to read every item there. New items can be ethereally reduced. Interesting, but only for Disciples of Land. It's... Oh, yeah, it's... Duh! You can only reduce items. It's a... No! I went back by accident, guys. Let's hope when I press 4... Hey, it brought us right back to it. The required collectability for the following items has been decreased, so it's easier to get to those tiers, the 515. I don't know if it's that much easier at 515 from 530, but I'm sure it is for the people who are low geared. Following items can now be submitted to the collector appraisal, Cedar Logs, and Dragon Obsidian. That's probably to increase the rate at which you can gain scripts. Amount of Red Gatherer scripts obtained upon submission of Eventide Jade and Periwinkle. Eventide Jade is the one that you can... that it has no limits, but you're basically restricted by GP, but now we have the cordial resets. So we're good. We're good on that front. There we go. No! Amount of experience points that you can get with these ones. Okay, that's good for leveling. I'm never down to reduce leveling. 100 blue gatherer scripts buys 3 high cordials now. Okay, I gotta see exactly how many blue scripts you get from handing those items in, because I'm down. I'm down. New items have been added to gathering points. A portion of unspoiled locations have uncovered with folklores have been set to hidden. Interesting. I guess that's just for the new items, I'm assuming. Yes, certain point bonuses have been removed from certain legendary nodes. Okay. Probably discovering a time-worn map or dragon skin map has been increased for miners and botanists. Fisher is not increased for you. Not like it was hard for you guys before, but that's besides the point. Following items are now obtainable at more gathering locations. Eventide Jade, Tektite, Fossilized Dragon. I mean, that's cool, I guess. It's like the biggest thing with the Eventide Jade is how often you have the GP to gather it properly, but I guess with those nerfs that were mentioned earlier, maybe it'll be easier to do with less GP. We'll see. The following items are now obtainable at more unspoiled locations. Gregarious Worm and Mazlaya Greens. Mazlaya, there you go. Big Fishing, it's back, ladies and gentlemen. Big Fishing. That's why they didn't give you those time-worn maps, because Big Fishing is back, ladies and gentlemen. An unspecified amount of gathering and perception will be necessary. Unspecified, ladies and gentlemen. Fishing time conditions for Amber Salamander has been adjusted. Let me take a sip of my coffee real quick. Fishing log and fishing guide have been updated. New chocobo barding. That's a pretty sweet chocobo barding. That Nidhogg barding is pretty friggin' sweet right there. I like it. But no, now he's our enemy. We have to kill it. New mounts. Oh yeah, they're great. Moogle mounts. Love it. That's also the Nidhogg bird. That's the extreme primal pigeon from Nidhugger. Oh god. I'm sorry. This is an incorrect showing of Ramuh and all of his greatness. He is not just a floating beard, so I am disappointed. Square Enix, I would like you to recall this item and please reconsider your development team and how they structure their creation of minions. Okay? Okay. Shiva, Iceheart looks perfectly fine. Players can now automatically equip optimized gear. Okay, yeah, we've gone over this before. I've made some videos. And then we have new achievements. Do the Aquapolis a certain amount of times, reach the deepest part of the Aquapolis a certain number of times, win Fields of Glory a certain number of times, discover every location in the new zones, defeat Nidhogg Extreme, complete the Weeping City, discover every location in the Weeping City, more Duty Roulette Mentor achievements, achieve ranks with the Moogles, catch all 119 different varieties of big fish. Can somebody tell me what the old Go Big or Go Home achievement was so we can figure out how many big fish there are now? Thank you. And add 50 unique music rolls to your orchestrion. Okay, well, I've got 2. So I'm almost there. The leader of the band. Okay. As the following duties count towards high level. So these all count for your... so it was 106 before, so there's 13 new big fish. Okay, so there was 109 big fish. The achievement was for 106. So this is either to get them all, or there's 13 new fish. So something along those lines. There's like 10 to 13 new fish. Big fish, that is. Following duties can be commenced. Okay, so these will all count for high-level full party duty achievements. So these work for tank mounts, essentially. New mentor statuses have been added. You can be a PvE mentor, a trade mentor, or a PvP mentor. For a PvE mentor... Oh, okay, I see what it is. So instead of needing to... Well, wait, hold on. Let me find what the actual requirements are. A mentor meets the qualifications to help others in player versus player combat, Disciples of Hand or Land, and Disciples of War Match. Okay, that's respectable. You don't have to do everything. You still have to just do a certain thing. I wonder if the PvE mentor ones have changed at all, but it doesn't actually say what the requirements are for the other ones. So I'll just wait, and hopefully it says it later on. Entrance points are now marked on the map. That's definitely a lot clearer. That's that's basically like, here's a big red arrow, you idiot. This is where you need to go. That basically feels like how it's trying to tell us. Placed waymarkers, that's amazing. I never even thought I wanted that. That is amazing right there. Waymarkers now show on the mini map. I love that. That is amazing for guide makers. That is amazing for in fight. That is amazing for everyone because it's just amazing. That's it. The bottom line is that's just amazing. I never even knew that I wanted that until I saw that right there. That's great. I like it. Oh, man. So anyway, moving on from that level, partial match function has been added to the market board item search. I am very happy. I am very, very happy. So guys, be careful with the partial match feature. If too many of us use it, it will crash the server. I wonder if that warning is here. No, it's not. Of course they're not going to put that warning here. The following changes have been made to retainer ventures. I don't care. I mean, you guys care, so read through it real quick, but still. Tree toad, lowland grape seeds, garlic cloves, yeah. You can get these items with ventures now. That's all you need to know. Retainer ventures will yield the maximum of the following items: gregarious worm and Maslaya greens, etc., etc. New camera angles have been added for the idling camera. Fantastic. It shows, look how beautiful that is. I can't wait to do it in combat. I can't wait to do it in combat. A switching feature has been added. Okay. Chance the idling camera will follow the subject using an action. Selected camera pattern will be adjusted when the subject is in combat. Idling camera can now be used while in combat. Can't wait for the new Scholar cam that they're adding right there. Oh, man. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the pose as group action. Awesome, awesome. Players who meet the conditions can now be included in group pose even if they are not party members. Okay, friends, free company members, players in the following areas, and the third person camera angle for group poses will now cover a larger area. Fantastic. Following changes have been made to the journal. The name of a quest or leave will display when you abandon it. Okay, that's interesting. And my nose itches so much right now, guys. I have no idea why. I just keep itching my nose. I don't know why it's happening. I think I got too excited. Players can, that's my equivalent of interaction. Anyway, players can now hide quests from their duty list. Checkbox is not filled up. Okay, that's fine. You can perform checkbox fill up to 5 quests will be displayed. Okay, I get it. Like, you can now not only select to track quests, but you can choose to hide quests. Okay, yeah, and then that last one is hidden. So basically, here's the example. Quests will display with normal priority, with exceeded priority, and then this will make it never show in the in your duty list. Okay, that's fine, understandable. That's a change also I didn't know that I wanted. It tells you how many remaining allowances that you have. Following changes have been made to the character window. Moogles have been added to. We don't need that. That you can leave that part out of the character window. A new button for adjusting headgear has been added. This new button will manually adjust visors on select gear, and the same manner as the visor text command. So there's basically a button for the visor text command. That's all they needed to say. Following changes have been made to recommendations. Quests which unlock new game features are now displayed in that tab. Font size has been adjusted to improve visibility. Also, the HUD save feature, you can save 4 different HUD layouts, and the macro to access them is /HUD layout 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can make a macro to change your HUD layout. Okay, awesome. This was a great feature when they showed it. It's still a great feature, especially because we'll probably need this for Palace of the Dead. I'll probably need my own UI or button layout just for Palace of the Dead, so definitely plan on using that. And on top of that, for PvP or different jobs or things like that. I've wanted this for a very long time, so I'm very grateful that they're finally doing the ability to save multiple HUD layouts. Keep in mind, though, it's multiple HUD layouts, not multiple different key bindings. So make sure that even if you do the HUD layout, that all your key bindings are still going to be the same and you still line them up in the correct way. Following adjustments have been made to the party finder. Button has been added to make it easier to set the player's own class, job, or recruitment criteria. Okay, we're almost done with these notes at this point. Now it's a lot of the little stuff. Message display when a party has commenced a vote dismiss and an instance duty has been changed. What does it say now? Like, I can just imagine like the message display changes to like, you fucking quitter. All right, get out. Okay, bye. All right, there we go. Players can now switch between the tabs of completed journal entries and the unending journey. Thank God. That is so much better. It was so annoying before how many we had to go through. A new option has been added to the frame rate setting. High quality scenery and lighting in the game will be displayed in an optimized quality. Standard quality, it will be displayed in standard quality. Okay. Players can now customize the party list according to job. So still not according to player, but according to job is the way most people play. Then you don't have multiples of the same job. It's pretty much good. And besides, everybody knows, and see here, the warrior is not on top, so that's clearly an error in the screenshot that they took. But other than that, they seem to have gotten it mostly correct. Okay. Players in Alliance who are not within range have their HP gauge grade. Did that not happen before? That didn't happen before. Yeah, they're right. Wow. Why did this take so long? Why did this take so long to do? I felt like this was here already. It was for party members, just not for alliance members. Okay, it's here now. Awesome. Inventory can manage items using the following settings: inventory interface, retainer inventory interface. Okay. Item settings tab. More tabs. Cool. All right. Sort customization, sort method, shop settings, all this fancy stuff right here. New options have been added to the HUD of the character configuration. Hide duty list during... That's great. I'm turning that on. That, again, didn't know I wanted it, and there was already a way to do that in-game, but having an automatic function for that, thank you, Square Enix, because I wanted it, and I didn't know I wanted it, but I wanted it. Following options, the character configuration interface under the hotbar settings have been moved to the custom tab, separated into PvE and PvP settings. Okay. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So you can have different controls for PvE and PvP. Pretty much can't avoid it. Let's see. Enable PvP settings. Enable hold controls. Okay, I like it. I like that there's PvE and PvP are kind of separated. I like that. That's pretty good. Oh, man. Following settings have been added to character customization window. System menu. Give us a bigger inventory? Yeah, that's not as easy as it sounds. For all the reasons they've listed and more. Hotbar settings, PvP actions. Yeah, it's all the kind of like remaining stuff. New text commands, /mog dance. That's do the monkey with me. For anyone who didn't know, that's the do the monkey with me. /wink, contents key. Okay. When near a fate, this will level sync the player. Oh, interesting. Well, because we have a /level sync command. So what I'm assuming this actually does is it just makes it so that automatically when you go into a fate, it will level sync. Like, it's automatic. You know what I mean? It's not like I need to actually type /level sync or press a button. I think it makes it so whenever I walk into a fate, it will automatically sync me, if I'm understanding that correctly. Gauss Barrel, that's to disable its appearance. That's good. Raid Finder, that's just to open the Raid Finder. Okay. Let's see. The function of the following text commands... No. There's no rip. There ain't no rip. There ain't no picnic. If there is, it's on Twitch's side. I'm not stopping the recording anyway. Let's see. The function of the following text commands have been expanded. Online status, HUD layout 1, add PvP action preset 1 through 5. Okay, yeah, it's all pretty much expected. The text command /loot has been removed. Okay, I honestly didn't even know there was a loot command. New placeholders have been added. Wait. I'm bugging. I'm bugging right now. Wait a minute. Are those placeholders... Am I the only one who just... Are those placeholders invisible? Am I bugging? What? Okay. That's a great... Those are great placeholders, guys. Those are two new great placeholders right there. Alright, fantastic. Moving on to something that is actually... visible. Then we have, okay, I love this part. Following words and phrases have been added to the auto translation dictionary. Should we find some replacements? Avoid the attack, turn away, get hit, pull the enemy away, move away, come closer, carry it. Oh man, carry it is gonna get spammed so hard. Cut the link. Is that their way of saying break the tether? I think it might be. Keep it busy, take them down at the same time. Hide. Circle, X, triangle, square, because those are tactics. those are the marks above the head, pretty much, for anyone wondering. Not just the PlayStation buttons, those are also the marks above people's heads, okay? Inner, outer, clockwise, counterclockwise, action indicator, gaze. Why is the font size so big? Circle, fan, diagonal, straight line, donut. I don't know why, but I have a feeling donut being a tactic is going to be a great thing. Donut. Line, sphere, ground, wall, pillar, boulder, flame, water, ice, explosion. Explosion. Oh man. One after the other. Combine, gather, spread out, divided damage, reflected damage. Damage over time, mode change, phase, stacked enhancement, stacked enfeeblement. Random target, rear. Uh-oh. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3... Oh no. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, rock. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, rock. Okay, anyway, I can't. Oh! Oh! I accidentally spilled coffee, guys. I spilled a little bit of coffee. I think we may need to put a cut in the video because there's a little bit of coffee here. There was something on my leg and it scared the shit out of me. I'm just going to be honest. We're going to put a cut in the video here over on YouTube while I go get this because that spider on my leg scared the shit out of me. So let me just go take care of that real quick. Alright, now that we're back from the great spider / coffee dilemma of 2016, let's continue reading some amazing auto-translates. Before, after, material melder, metal, heavy metal, calling time, offensive, defensive, medical supplies, adrenaline, offense kits, KDA, and a translation of what K stands for, D stands for, and A stands for. I think they'll show you what the D stands for. Online statuses, the names of all these places, the names of different status effects, months, for whatever reason. Different tomestones, including tomestones that no longer even get used anymore, are also added. That seems a little bit late, but I'll take it. And then mounts, original fat chocobo was added to auto-translate. I don't know why, but I just find that funny. Let's see. New music has been added, of course. Website link for the meteor icon. Hey, that's all of it. We were almost done. Oh, and here's the free trial version. Maximum amount of allowed. Oh, I didn't even think about that. You can only carry 100,000 gil in the trial of the game. Well, now it's 300,000. So, that nice. So these patch notes are pretty good. For anyone like, where's Palace of the Dead? Palace of the Dead is 3.35. That's expected to first or second week of July. So anything you're doing in anticipation of that, keep in mind that it's useless because everything inside of there is, you know, it's a self-contained mode. So nothing you do outside of it, other than gather potions maybe, and Phoenix Downs by Yoshi P's recommendation, will really matter when you go in there. So with that in mind, overall good patch notes. We still have to wait for the full patch notes in order to get the official item levels and names and recipes and things like that. That'll come on Monday. So keep that in mind. I'm probably not going to make a video on the full patch notes, although I probably will have a brief discussion on the items that are being added, just so we can give people the confirmed item levels and whatnot. But on top of that, thank you everyone for watching this live on Twitch. Thank you to those of you watching it over on YouTube. Those of you on Twitch, I'm going to cut the stream here in a minute so I can start rendering this, so I can get it posted on YouTube, you know, before the end of time, pretty much. And hopefully my nose will stop itching by the time that I get through to that. And then on top of that, Monday, for a live stream special event, I'm actually going to be hosting what I'm going to call Heavensward movie night or something like that. Basically, when we start the stream, we're going to go through all of the cutscenes from 2.3 to 3.2, as well as watch all of the Heavensward trailers, including the patch trailers and whatnot, in anticipation for Tuesday's patch 3.3. So anyway, guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap up this recording. I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to cut the stream real quick and then bring it back just so I can separate the recording and get this edited and rendered ASAP. But anyway, thank you for joining me over on the YouTube side. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and let me know what you thought about these patch notes. I will see you next time, and until then, take care.